Shalom. I'm the Messianic Torah dude, and recently a razor company did an ad that was pretty controversial about men and manhood and stuff like that. And it kind of got me thinking that we as a society kind of do a terrible job of teaching boys how to be men, but more than that, we also do a terrible job of teaching men how to be godly men. And so I thought that I would do this video and just kind of cite some biblical examples of godly manhood, of some men who really set the bar, set an example of how we should behave as men of God. The first example I thought of was Nehemiah. Now in Nehemiah chapter 6, Nehemiah confronts the wealthy people of the city because they're charging exorbitant interest to people in exchange for loans. See, Nehemiah was in a position of power, and he used that power as a means of looking out for the people who couldn't look out for themselves. Of course, this is keeping with what's written time and time again in Scripture. Take up the cause of the fatherless and the widow. Look out for the people who can't look out for themselves. Godly men are called to use their strength in order to look out for the people who don't have that strength. Another example I thought of was the prophet Daniel. Now Daniel lived at a time where for 30 days it was illegal to pray to anybody but the king. And when Daniel heard this proclamation, his first response was to go into his room and pray to the Lord. You see, Daniel did what the Lord commanded of him, regardless of the consequences and regardless of what kind of results, what kind of punishment would happen to him. Men of God are called to be brave in their obedience to the Lord. And the third example I thought of is Rav Shaul. Rav Shaul is somebody who underwent a lifetime of persecution. In 2 Corinthians, he goes down the list of all of the different things that he suffered in the name of Messiah. He had been stoned, he had been beaten, he had been drug out of the city, he had been under constant threat, he had been shipwrecked. All of these things in order to preach the truth of Messiah. See, Rav Shaul, by his example, teaches us that as men of God, we are called to speak boldly and truthfully the word of the Lord. So what are some other examples of godly men that we can look to in Scripture? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, and if you learned something, give us a share. I'm the Messianic Torah dude. Shalom, and stay in the Word.